Well, as we told you earlier in the broadcast, Hurricane Juan really has created a lot of problems today.
It has. It's spread a cloud shield over the entire northern part of the Gulf of Mexico, and our weather is being influenced by it. The neat weekend sort of went into the dumper because of it. There's some showers approaching us from the west. We'll show you in a second. In fact, we had clouds over us today. Sky 10 flying at 3,200 feet. Up there just above the base of those clouds, above Tampa, St. Petersburg. We're going to see clouds continuing to race across the area. The individual thunderstorm cells will be moving toward the north, and the line of thunder showers and clouds will be moving from west to east across the region. At 6 o'clock, it is still very warm. It's 81 at Tampa International, 84 at St. Pete Clearwater Airport. Sarasota, Bradenton reporting 82 degrees. If you figure in the humidity, it feels like 89 degrees. It's summertime as far as the dew point is concerned, 75 degrees. It is very sticky. That makes the humidity 82%. The barometer rising from 29.78, and wind from the southwest at 7 miles an hour. Today's high, 88, one off the record for this date, set in 1919. The morning low was 76. Tampa International has had only a trace of rain. That may change, though, with thunderstorms on the way. Wide satellite picture sort of sets the table for us. We have Hurricane Zena in the Pacific, moving north, may turn northeast. No problems right now. Look at the large swirl of clouds. All of this is involved with Hurricane Juan, which still has not moved onshore, and it is still a viable hurricane. We'll review the past 12 hours worth of satellite pictures in the southeastern part of the country. Watch what happens. As we go through this, the eye opens up at the end. We'll back up again. This is 12 hours ago. Now watch the development of it. The storm just sets there and spins in the center, winds up here. You can almost see some growth east and some growth southward on that. The other thing to watch is the bands of clouds as they move one more time as they move across the state. Watch this band. It races across, fires up, and explodes on the east coast. That next band is on the way to us. Juan right now is located just off the southwestern coast of Louisiana. The position is at 29.0 north and 92.8 west. Maximum winds 85 miles an hour. Essentially, the storm is stationary. During the day, if there's been any movement at all, there's been just a slight drop to the south and to the east. Gale warning continues from Apalachicola to the mouth of Mississippi. Hurricane warning from the mouth of the Mississippi to Port Arthur, Texas. And then from Port Arthur southward to Brownsville, another gale warning is in effect. The storm isn't moving. The Hurricane Center says it may set here throughout the rest of today and possibly tomorrow. There's just nothing in the upper level of the atmosphere to push it along one way or the other at the present time. And until a mechanism like that takes place, they're going to continue with the storm basically in a stationary position. As you saw in the satellite pictures, it's become just a little better organized in the last several hours. National Weather Service radar from Galveston. Here's where the center, this is the western center of the eye of the storm. If I could enclose the rest of it, it would be there. Lots of showers and thunderstorms, not only over western Louisiana, but all the way down through Victoria, Texas, and approaching Corpus Christi. In our area, our weather's being affected by the storm. Our own Channel 10 action radar on its 120-mile range shows a line of thunderstorms in the Gulf. This line is moving eastward at 15 miles an hour. The individual cells are moving northward. What this means is when the line gets to us, we're likely to have some pretty good showers and thunderstorms that may be with us for a while. Elsewhere, thunderstorms are scattered through the central part of the state. Our marine forecast for the Bay Area will be coming up in just a second. Temperatures real cool along the east coast because that's where the big thunderstorms have been taking place. The line in the Gulf has not yet reached us. Now we want to show you our marine forecast. Small craft advisory in effect. Wind southeast to south 15 to 20, seas 5 to 7 offshore. Gulf temp 81 degrees. Tomorrow there will be 4 tides. First one's high at 101 in the morning. For the rest of tonight, in between these lines of thunderstorms, it'll be partly cloudy, but thunderstorms are likely off and on. Lows in the low to mid-70s. Tomorrow over the area, afternoon thunderstorms or spotty thunderstorms and highs in the mid-80s. Rest of the week in the 5-day forecast, we think that Juan, or the remains of Juan, will move inland and move north and east. And as such, it will do 2 things for us. It'll make it rain late in the week, and it will make it cooler by the time the weekend gets here. We'll see if we can work that forecast out.
Well, we need some cooler temperatures, I tell you. Thank you very much, Dick.
The countdown is on tonight for Wednesday's launch of the Space Shuttle Challenger. The largest crew yet, consisting of 5 Americans, 2 West Germans, and a Dutchman, is set to blast off at noon Wednesday. 80 experiments will be conducted during the week-long mission. Coming up tonight, we begin a week-long look at the St. Petersburg Grand Prix. S'il vous plaît. What is it and why is it here? We'll tell you in a moment. Stand by. Kimbrough didn't have the courage to face us today after calling for the Bucks win this weekend, and then there was this fiasco last night in Kansas City.
Man, was
Jerry,
that something?
Thank you for coming in.
Oh, anytime. I'm very happy to be here. You know, there were those who said it couldn't be done. Beat a team as deadly and strong as the St. Louis Cardinals. But the Royals have never been much on paying attention to skeptics. And tonight, the boys in blue from Kansas City are the world champions of baseball. It was a royal rout last night in KC, and Darryl Motley got it rolling. With a runner on in the second, he slammed this one to left, and the Royals have a 2-0 lead. The game was pretty much out of reach after the third inning. Steve Balboni singled to left, drove in a pair. That makes it 5-0 Royals. The Cards got pretty hot about it. First, Whitey Herzog gets the old heave-ho. Get out of here, Whitey. Next time, it's Joaquin Andujar. Both of them got sent to the shower. 11-0 the final. Royals win the World Series. 21-year-old Brett Saberhagen named the series' most valuable player.
I was real nervous. Fortunately, we got some key plays. I don't think this should all go to me. We had 25 guys contributing in this series. Dane Orch last night, and you can just go up and down the line.
It's been a long haul, but it's well worth it. I'm not surprised that we did it. I'm surprised how we did it. A blowout ball game.
And how about the Bucks? Found a whole new way to depress themselves Sunday against the Patriots. Couple of mistakes, a few key injuries, and the Buccaneer world just caved in after leading by 14 in the first quarter. The Bucks never even got close to their own end zone again. Gave up 32 points to a mediocre Patriot team. Lehman Bennett was not amused.
How did you think the defense stood up against their offense today?
Not well. Defense did pretty good, you know, but we didn't stop when we had to. That's the main thing. And we held out pretty good, but we got to do better.
Just had some breakdowns and lost some key players and just didn't bounce back. Disappointment to all of us. 8 games left. We got to put the first half of the season behind us.
The kicking game was atrocious. DeBerg tossed 2 more interceptions. All in all, it was a poor performance, and they don't have a lot to look forward to.
We came in, we did everything that we'd practiced all week, and some things went bad, and so things started snowballing, and couldn't stop it.
The streets of St. Petersburg will come alive later this week with the first ever St. Petersburg Grand Prix. And tonight we begin a week-long series on the Grand Prix and how all those cars and drivers will be taking it to the streets. Up on St. Petersburg next Friday morning, it will be shining on the first automobile street race in city history. More than 200 cars and drivers will spend Friday, Saturday, and Sunday weaving and racing through the downtown race course, Grand Prix style.
I think you're going to see one of the best racing events that's going to be held in this country this year. We've got an aggressive schedule with 6 divisions, and we've got all kinds of cars, from the Trans Ams through open wheel, open cockpit, Formula Atlantic cars, the vintage and historic sports Renaults, VW Golfs, Can-Am prototype type cars. A great course, very competitive course. The drivers who have seen this course, so we had a driver in here yesterday and he said this is going to be something else. It's got something for everybody.
But why, you ask, St. Petersburg? Quiet, artsy, serene St. Petersburg.
We needed a community that had a beautiful venue, an aesthetically pleasing surrounding. St. Petersburg fit that bill.
This is like a Monaco here. You know, it's not as hilly and mountainy as Monaco, but the basin and the yacht club lends itself to that.
For 2 miles exactly along Bay Shore, up the straightaway on 1st Street, and onto the pier, everything is almost ready. The grandstands are built, protective barriers in place, and the debris fence nearly complete.
The object was to put together a full weekend of racing that offers everything from one end of the spectrum to the other. And I think we've done a really good job of that, and the people that come out to watch this are going to see something they've never seen here before. Definitely. It's going to be wonderful. Yeah, taking it to the streets of St. Petersburg. It starts Friday, goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be telling you about it all week long. Tonight, right here, Channel 10, San Diego Chargers take on the Los Angeles Raiders. 9 o'clock, Monday Night Football. Got a pick?
I was still picking St. Louis. I had a real hard time here.
I've got to go with the Raiders.
Jerry.
They like Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, John.
He
I know
looks
you're a
down
St.
the
Louis
mouth,
native.
doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Cheer him up.
Next year, guys.
Maybe
Next
so.
year.
Maybe so.
They came from nowhere. Remember that. They came
It'll
from
happen
nowhere.
again.
Tonight in our segment on missing children, we're profiling 17-year-old Sharon Schlicker. Sharon has brown hair and brown eyes. She was last seen in Wayland, New York in 1984. If you have any information about her whereabouts, please call the Missing Children Help Center in Tampa. The number on your screen, 623-KIDS. The Halloween trick-or-treat season is fast approaching. People this year are dressing up in some rather weird costumes, and while the mood is festive, there is concern for safety, especially the safety of children trick-or-treating. Hillsborough County Sheriff Walter Heinrich today urged all parents to exercise good safety habits while escorting their children around the neighborhood. But some parents have decided that they're not going to take any chances at all.
We're having a small carnival at our church function for just the children and games and stuff like that. They'll receive the candy and stuff they would receive ordinarily from trick-or-treating, but they won't be out to where we know what our kids are getting.
Parents are being urged to carefully screen all treats, especially those which may be unwrapped, and to dispose of any suspect goodies that they get.
Time to have a good time, but a time for a lot of extra caution and care.
That's right. You got to be careful. That's this edition of Action News. We want to thank you for joining us.
We will be back tonight after Monday Night Football between the Los Angeles Raiders and the San Diego Chargers. So for all of us at Action News, for Ken Brew, who's off tonight, for Jerry Johnson and Cheryl Brown and Dick Fletcher, I'm John Wilson. Now stay tuned for ABC's World News Tonight. And the latest on the story from the Gulf of Mexico, where Hurricane Juan is causing problems for Louisiana. Good night.